Hello everyone, it's Lorica here. I'm going to do another book tag today, and it's called the Name 5 tag. It was created by Sue Jackson to celebrate her 5 years on YouTube or Booktube. And it's a very fun tag. I was tagged by Tracy from Nordic Light, and also from Daniela from Uncommon Reader. So thank you both for tagging me. The first prompt is, how long have you been on YouTube, and when did you start your channel, and what were your goals? For me, it's also a celebration, so I thought it was great to do this tag because this week or last week, I have been on YouTube for 10 years. So it's my 10-year anniversary on YouTube. I like to talk about books and writing, but I also like to talk about living a kind life. So it's a little bit of everything. I don't have a specific, sometimes not a specific theme. I just live and I make videos about things. So that's it. So the second question, I'm going to look down a lot because I have notes for this one, is name 5 channels that you watch most regularly and try to keep up with. The first one is, of course, Tracy from Tracy Nordic Lights. She really is such a gentle person, and she makes the most beautiful, gentle videos, all very peaceful and calm, and talks about books in a very, very, very gentle way. So I really like her channel. And then there's Daniela from An Uncommon Reader. And what I love about her channel is she always inspires me to read different books that I would never heard about or never thought about. So as her channel title says, it's all books about different stuff that I just out there for me. So yeah, beautiful channel. Then Julie from Bookish Travels. I actually met Julie when I was in London last year. And Julie's channel is beautiful. It's all about bookish travels and history, historical fiction. So I enjoy her channel because she goes and visits places and she talks about books that took place in those spaces or that were written in those spaces, and really, really very cool channel. And then there's Candy from the Great Literary Rabbit Hole that I always watch as well. And she is busy with DIY literary degree. She talks a lot about the classics and Gothic literature, and I love Gothic literature, so she's really someone to watch. And she also has lots of reading challenges and things. So I really enjoy her channel. It's very informative for me. And then the number 5 is Philip from A Poet Reads to Write. I like watching his channel. He makes videos about some really interesting books and, of course, a lot of poetry as well. So it's a bit of a variety of channels. And I really like that because they each have their own themes. So go and check them out. I'll link them all below. And then the next question is, name 5 of your best commenters that you may have developed a friendship with just through commenting back and forth on YouTube. Now, of course, everybody above, all 5 of the channels above, I would highly put up there as my what would you call it? My best commenters. And then there's a couple of other people that I want to highlight, and they're not necessarily booktubers, but they're really amazing YouTubers. One is Sue from Butterfly Kisses San Diego. She has a lovely channel where she takes us on little trips that she goes out in San Diego. She does mainly shorts, and just to the zoo or to the beach or something to eat, and shows us. So it feels like I'm going traveling every time I watch one of her videos, and it's just beautiful. And she's a very positive person. The other one is Evie from Fairy Wren Whispers, another very gentle, creative person as well. She makes art, and she also talks about her life and her life in art. She hasn't made some videos for a little while, but you can go and watch the backup videos from the past. Beautiful channel. And then Agatha from Quirk. I never know how to say her channel name. She also makes mainly shorts, and she updates sporadically, but she always comments, and her comments I appreciate so much. All of these people's comments I appreciate. And she makes often of animals and things that she sees wherever it is that she in her environment. So yeah, these are all the people that I would say are my commenters that regularly comment. The next question is, name 5 classics that you love. The first one is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, because it was one of the early classics that I read, not the first one, but the early ones. And I just love that book. And then, of course, every book from the Bronte sisters I love. So they're all really good. But I would say, if I have to choose, it would be Jane Eyre. And then anything basically from Daphne du Maurier as well. But Jamaica Inn I talked about it in my last video. I just love Jamaica Inn. It was the first classic. That was the first classic I read, and I realized how good English books are because I never read English. So I read in Afrikaans. So I was sometime in high school when I read that, and it just blew me away. And then the fairy tales of both the Grimm brothers and Hans Christian Andersen, to me that's classic. So those two I will just combine into one because it's hard for me to choose. And then The Great Gatsby as well by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I only read that book last year for the first time, and I was just like, wow, that book was amazing. I made a video of that as well. I'll see if I can remember to put it in the description below. And then there is Persuasion by Jane Austen. That's my Jane Austen book that I just love. Oh, Persuasion is such a beautiful book. So those are the classics. And then if you listen to audiobooks, name 5 audiobooks that are extra special because of the audio production. I've never listened to an audiobook in full. I will start listening and then I drift off, and then I never listen to it. So I'm not an audiobook person. I've tried, but it's not working for me. Name 5 books you loved that you rarely hear about and you'd love for more people to discover. I have 2 books and then 3 authors because it just feels easier for me to do it that way. So the first book is a book I always talk about, and it's called The Highland Witch by Susan Fletcher. It takes place in the 1600s. It's about this young girl who has been accused as being a witch, and she is awaiting her execution by fire, and a reverend comes to visit her in prison, and he talks with her about why she is there, and she tells her story to him, and they, from being not so what's the English word I'm looking for, being suspicious of one another, they build up a relationship and more respect for each other. So it's really is a absolutely beautiful book. The other one is Pure by Andrew Miller. Amazing book. Takes place in France around the French Revolution time, and it talks about it's about this young man who goes to Paris for a job to clear out one of the main cemeteries in Paris, because this cemetery is very old and it starts to poison the people because as the water runs down, it's and there's gases coming out of the earth because of the burial. So he has to move the bodies in the cemetery. And it's a story around that, but also with the backdrop of the French Revolution that is around the corner, basically. So great book, amazingly good book, totally recommended. And then I have 3 authors, and they're they just lovely to read books. They write books that are really nice to read, and they're all crime novelists. The first is Jonathan Kellerman, and he writes the series, been written for many. I've been reading him for decades. He writes about this child psychiatrist called Alex Delaware, and he works with Milo Stooges, and they work together on cases. There's Detective Stooges in LA, Los Angeles, and they solve cases, and Dr. Delaware, he helps Milo with some of his heavy cases where there's some psychological thing going on. Really good writing, and I don't know much. I've been to LA once, and just a quick drive through basically. I spent the night in a car in Venice Beach with my husband. We did a journey across America for 3 months, and that was one of the first nights we stayed. So that's what I know about LA. But I feel like I know LA from these books that Jonathan Kellerman have written. So I totally recommend his books. You don't need to read them in consecutive order as they were published. You can just pick up anywhere. It's really good. The second author is a South African author called Dion Meyer. I might have talked about him as well. Absolutely love his books, and he writes about crime in South Africa, crime novels. And we follow most of his books. There's also a series with Benny Griessel. He's a detective with his partner, Vaughn Cupido. And these 2 guys solve crimes in the Western Cape region of South Africa, mainly in Cape Town. And in the last book, they've gone to Stellenbosch and all in that region. Fantastic books. It talks a lot about the culture of South Africa and the crime in South Africa. So just a really, really well-written books, all of them. And then the third one is a Swedish crime author called Rebecca Martinsson. And she writes about this lawyer in Stockholm, a lady that grew up in the north of Sweden, and she goes back from Stockholm to the north, and she starts to kind of solve crimes in a way there as well. And it's also a series, and fantastically written. You can just feel and see the Swedish environment and the north and the snow and the darkness in winter and the summer, the always light. It's just, and the stories itself are really good. So those would be my 5 books that I love, and I said authors, right? That I really hear about, and I'd love more people to discover them. And finally, tag 5 other booktubers. So I will tag some people below, and if you want to do it, feel free. If you don't worry. And anybody I don't mention, please go for it. It was a fun tag to do, and it was great to talk about my favorite YouTubers, or booktubers and YouTubers. So thanks Daniela and Tracy for tagging me here. And I wish for you a beautiful day further, everyone, and I will see you soon. Bye.